a lot of things happened and everything. I worked late and everything, so I am. Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was. Okay. Anyways, I apologize. I'm just like going all over the place here. Anyways, got a good show lined up. Tonight we're going to be talking about the results of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. I'm going to give out my insight of what I thought the show was and everything. Fix myself up there. I gotta look pretty for the camera. So, nothing's working right for me today. There we go. Oh, jeez. There we go. Never get good camera. I need to get a better camera work and everything like that. This is going on the blooper reel, I guess. So, but yeah, we got a good show lined up and everything. We're going to be talking about the results of the pay-per-view of the Elimination Chamber, and we are going to have ourselves a great time with that. And so, without further ado, I had a comment there, so I'm just like all over the place here. That was right. Yes, it was. Told you. Told you I was going to do this results show early. My good buddy David, how you doing? I'm glad you're tuning in tonight and everything. So this episode is brought to you by M&J Video Games and Collectibles. You can trade in your old video games and consoles, from retro video games, accessories, and systems. You can also trade in your DVD box sets and Blu-rays. You can also trade in your sports cards and novelty items, as well as wrestling collectibles and autographed items spanning from sports, wrestling, and actors. If you happen to be in the Connecticut area, they have some events going on too. So if you want to get directions on where they're at and the wonderful events that they have going on, there was a contract. There was actually an autograph session with Tony Atlas, a good friend. I know him really well. Unfortunately, I missed out on that, and so yeah, I missed out on that. So, but you don't want to miss out on any other events that are going on either. So don't be like me, and check out their website for the directions and list of events that is going on, and that's mjvideogamesandcollectibles.com. So, I'm actually going to be doing the review right now. So, I'm going to give the note. I'm going to give my take on that and everything, and so yeah, so it's going to be pretty interesting. So, without further dudes, let's go ahead and get the show started. I'm not gonna as I do with every kickoff. I haven't seen the kickoff show. So I'm not gonna really comment on it. I don't really count that anyways. Excuse me. But from what I understand, the match was actually pretty good. And it was a cruiserweight title match too, and the champion retained his title. So that I did hear out and everything. So we're gonna kick off the show with the Women's Tag Team Championship match for that's held inside the Elimination Chamber, and the 6 participants, the 6 teams that entered is Carmella and Naomi, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan from the Riot Squad. So the Iconics, and as well as Nia Jax and Tamina, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Bailey and lastly Bailey and Sasha Banks. So this was a very good match. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville went against Bailey and Sasha Banks. They were the first two teams to enter. It was pretty good all around. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan came in next. And then the Iconics were next to come in. Then Carmella and Naomi. Then Nia Jax and Tamina were the last teams to enter. Naomi and Carmella were eliminated by the Iconics. Excuse me. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan were eliminated by Nia Jax and Tamina. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were eliminated by Bailey and Sasha Banks. And Nia Jax and Tamina were eliminated by Bailey, Sasha Banks, Ruby Rose, and Sonya Deville. All four of them pinned. Those four ladies basically took out Nia Jax. They all piled up on Nia Jax, and that was a good strategy and everything. So at the end, Bailey and Sasha Banks eliminated Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to become the first to become the women's tag team champions. Some were saying the first ever, but it was nice of Beth Phoenix to remind everybody of who were also tag team champions, the Jumping Blonde Angels and the Glamour Girls. So a little bit of history that I guess they didn't want to mention. So shame on the WWE. I actually gave this match an A+. I originally was going to give this an A, like a solid A. Only reason because of the fact that it was more of like the match started to be like who was able to scream the loudest. And if anybody can make their ears bleed during that match, it had to go to the Iconics because they were loud. they just kept screaming and moaning and hollering. And I was just like, really? It's like it got to a point where the Iconics were annoying at that point. So, but that was the only nitpicking that I had. But with Bailey and Sasha Banks winning the tag titles, the women's tag titles, I think that was really good, really really good for that, and I'm really happy for that. So, and this match, and the crowd the audience was so into it, and it was very emotional. It was very emotional. That's why I gave it the A+, because I always grade on crowd participation, and the crowd was really into this match. They really were, and that's why I absolutely love this match. This was a really really good opener to kick it off, and it was really really great. So that's why I give this match an A+. So congratulations to Bayley and Sasha Banks of becoming the women's tag team champions. So congratulations to them. So looking forward to seeing them defend the titles at WrestleMania. It's gonna be very good. You know, I'm going to enjoy that. There you go. Up next was The Miz and Shane McMahon, the SmackDown Tag Champions, taking on the Usos. They're number one contenders. Now there was a lot of questions coming into this match because of what Jey Uso, what happened to Jey Uso over the weekend. I guess he got arrested for some disorderly conduct, I guess you could say, and so I was kind of hoping that they were going to lose, but unfortunately not. According to this, the match was okay. I mean, the match was fairly decent, and it was like pretty, it was pretty classic there and everything. Yeah, and so yeah, it was pretty crazy and everything, and but it was still a very good match. Shane McMahon doing those risk taking moves again. He's going to be careful. I mean, he's not as young as he used to be. Um, he's not as young as he was 20 years ago. So, but yeah, this was a very this was an okay. It was a decent match. And then of course the Usos winning the tag champions. Sorry about that. Long night tonight. So and so I give this match a solid B. The finish was okay and everything. The finish was okay. For the moment, he gets Miz gets rolled up, and he felt disappointed because he was dedicating it to his dedicating this match to his father, his wife, his baby, his daughter, and then Maurice came out before the match started and gave the announcement that they were expecting another child. So again, he dedicated the match, dedicated the match to his unborn child too, and everything. He just felt so disappointed, and and Shane seemed to be cool with it. He told him, later on he told him to just go home, clear your head, and everything. Just and see you on Tuesday and everything. So, I mean, everything will be fine. So, who knows? A rematch will happen at WrestleMania, I'm sure, and it's gonna happen and everything because the Miz and Shane are good. Is actually starting to grow on me and everything like that. So we'll see what happens. So I give this match a solid B at best. It was a pretty decent match. Up next came Lashley and Lio Rush taking on Finn Balor for the WWE Intercontinental Belt. So this was a handicap match, and this match was for what it was actually not that bad. As what I thought. I thought this was going to be like a squash match, but then I seem to always underestimate Finn Balor. I don't know why, but I always do that. and it's not, nothing against him or anything like that. It's just that he's going up against these big men and these big guys and everything, and he just came back. From an injury, so I guess I have to be cautious right there, because as I said, he just came back from an injury, and I'm just afraid that these big guys are gonna take him out for good and everything. So I don't know. I mean, it came close it almost came close at Royal Rumble, and then but here was pretty decent. So Lashley gets of course gets taken out, and I kind of predicted the ending of this match. And Lashley gets taken out, and then throws in Leo Rush in there and just goes to work on him, and basically that was it. Leo Rush got the coup de grace and he got pinned, and Finn Balor becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. And Lashley got upset and everything, and then he took out Leo out of the he took him out. So I guess that honeymoon's over, I guess you could say. So I don't know. So we'll soon see what happens on later on this. We'll see what happens this week. Up next is Ruby Riott taking on Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship, and I gotta say Ronda Rousey looked pretty good coming out, like even before the match even started. She came out looking like Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat. Oh my God! I almost got the hate comment. I almost got some hate comments because I almost said the wrong game. She's doing a voiceover for playing Sonya Blade for Mortal Kombat 11, and that's going to be coming out soon, I believe. And so I'm actually glad for. I'm actually going to pick up that copy. That it looks really, really good, from what I've been seeing and everything, and it's going to be very interesting, to see what happens. But and then she's going against Ruby Riott from the Riott Squad, and I wasn't really in. To be quite honest with you, I really wasn't into this match that much. This was basically a squash. This was a squash match. It was kind of a match that you would kind of see on Raw or SmackDown, or maybe even maybe if you're lucky at a house show. And this was I mean, it was all right for what it is, and I would I was kind of hoping that Ruby was going to do more in this match instead of getting jobbed out. Like put some effort into this match, kind of like how Finn Balor did with Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble. That kind of thing. Kind of like a David and Goliath. This is kind of like this. This is kind of like a same thing. And but yeah, it was it was still a good it was a decent match for what it was and everything. Charlotte came out prior to the match starting to observe the match a little bit closer, doing guest commentary and about her match because she's for the match against Ronda again at WrestleMania, and then of course Charlotte was talking about what happened at a house show that she was in. They got interrupted by Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch got taken out again and everything at the house show, and for what it is. But this match here, like the match in general, Ruby against Ronda, I gave this match a B minus. I just really wasn't, it was a quick match. It was a quick match for what it was. This was more like a like a Raw or SmackDown type of match. It was quick. It was very, very quick, so that's why it gets a low grade. But but the stuff that happened after Charlotte, goes into the ring, you know, confronts Ronda, and then from the audience, from the from the from the audience area, here comes Becky Lynch, um, pretty much walking on crutches and everything, and determined, to get that spot at WrestleMania that was pretty much taken from her. We're going to talk more about that once it gets closer to WrestleMania. Actually, we might even talk about it this weekend. Now that I think about it, and but yeah, Becky came out. She was, you know, comes into the ring with the crutches and everything, and you know, throws a crutch at Charlotte, and then with the other crutch, Becky just goes off on Charlotte with the crutches, with the crutch, and just literally went all out on Charlotte. Went to town on Charlotte with the crutch, and she, and then and then she gives the crutch. Then she gives a crutch to the other crutch to Ronda Rousey, and I guess Ronda was about to go to work on Charlotte as well with the crutch. But then from out of nowhere, here comes Becky Lynch with the other crutch that she still had in her hand, and just took out Ronda Rousey with the crutch as well too, and the crowd just went nuts and everything. So that part right there was actually pretty good. There's a lot of comparison about how Becky Lynch is really compared to Steve Austin, during the Attitude Era. I like that. I like that, that they do have part of the Attitude Era, but in reverse. Now this Attitude Era is done with women, so I like it. I actually like it, and so Becky is hurt. She's suspended for 60 days, up until till after WrestleMania and everything. So I guess until she apologizes or whatever. But Becky is determined to still headline WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey for the championship. I mean, even with but we'll talk more about that later. But again, the match between Ronda and Ruby, and Ronda retaining the championship, the Raw Women's Championship, B minus, as I said, and so yeah, so So up next was Baron Corbin taking on Braun Strowman in a no disqualification match, and to be quite honest with you, I wasn't really into this match either, which is why I gave pretty much the same grade as I did to the previous match with Ronda. I gave it a B minus, but I kind of want to give it a C. A C plus, and with me changing the grade like that, I have every intention to doing so. So with that said, C plus. So, um, it was okay for what it was, and but then it got interrupted by um from Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. They both came out, did the run in, and all three of them ran a program on Braun Strowman, and it was so it took three guys to take out Braun Strowman, and the way it was done too, it was with, they paid homage to the Shield, and but instead they took the steel steps, put them in the ring, stacked two tables on top of each other, and took them out that way, and that's when Baron Corbin won. And of course, this is a no DQ match, so anything goes. But it was just like, really, and so with that being said, it was pretty brutal. So that's why I gave that a C plus. I did originally give it a C. I originally gave that a B minus, but I'm going to give it a yeah. So and then Lacey, I guess her name was Lacey. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Going to the WrestleView. So I'm trying to remember. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. I apologize, folks. I'm just like, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. It was Lacey Evans before the main event. Lacey Evans came out and introduced the crowd and everything, and I was like, why? I mean, like it literally made no sense for Lacey Evans to come out, and it was like, I don't know. It was it was so completely random, and I was like, what the hell, you know? I was like, I don't know, but it was ridiculous, and it literally made no sense. I mean, she just came out, do a little like she was like a fashion model. She came out walking like a fashion model, and I don't know. It just made no sense. So it was a completely pointless waste of time. So then we go, but instead of all that, Kofi Kingston, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan in the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship. And so this was a again, this was another great match. Jeff Hardy, a former champion, Randy Orton, a former champion, AJ Styles, a former champion, and then you have Kofi and Samoa Joe, who hasn't had the belt. It was actually a very good match. Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan started off and everything. As soon as AJ Styles came out, he took out Samoa Joe. Eliminated AJ eliminated Samoa Joe. Randy Orton came out of nowhere and eliminated AJ Styles. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, after doing a swanton after swantoning AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan came in and eliminated Jeff Hardy, eliminated him right then and there. So, and the last two in the match was Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. And this was actually the more of the focus on this match was Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. Kofi Kingston, I gotta tell you, WWE has to look at this now, and say, look, Kofi Kingston can main event. I mean, we've seen him do that. I mean, we've seen him go against Randy Orton. And he handled himself very well in that little feud that they had. And now with Daniel Bryan, going in there with Daniel Bryan, Kofi can actually work, and he's a damn good worker. He really is, and I like Kofi for that. And it really shows that, I would like to see him. I would actually, after seeing this match with Daniel, seeing him going in there with Daniel Bryan, I would like to see the belt on him. Let's break the color barrier. Let's do this. Come on, WWE, you got something here. And Kofi Kingston, I mean, he's been with the company for over 11 or 12 years now. I think it's time. I think it's time for him to main event. Maybe break. Even if it means having to break away from the New Day, then do so. But I don't think that's going to happen, because this was a very good match. This was a very good match. This was another A+ match. This was really excellent. I was actually rooting for Kofi in this match, and this was a really great match. And even if it was just Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan in the main event, you would still get this stellar match. And I want to see that. I want to see Kofi and Daniel Bryan main event at a pay-per-view. I mean, this is definitely something worth watching. If it's not WrestleMania, let's give it SummerSlam or whatever. Let's give out something, because this was, seeing Kofi do what he does in the ring, it's amazing what he can do, and I want to see that. I love, let's give Kofi Kingston that push, because this was a bar none performance. This was an absolute brilliant performance by all these men. Not just Kofi and Daniel, but for Jeff and Randy and AJ and Samoa Joe. And this was a great match. That's why that match too was a really great match. So, and of course, Daniel Bryan retains the championship, and so again, A plus match. So, I mean, they open up the show with an A plus match, and they end it with another A plus match. And overall grade, I give it an A minus. I know I give the match an A minus. Um, I mean A. Actually, no, forget that. Solid A. This was an A game material here. Nothing really to complain about on this pay per view. It was still enjoyable, even for what it was. The match of the night was actually a tie. The Elimination Chamber matches, from both the women's tag and the WWE Championship match. Those were perfect matches, and those were the two matches that really got people wanting more. And um, so yeah, so that's a tie for match of the night. Worst match of the night is of course another tie. Uh, Ronda Rousey versus Ronda Rousey and Riot, and of course Corbin and Strowman. So those matches were, you know, I mean they were okay for what they were, but you know the way it ended the way it did, um, was how I ranked it and everything. Um, so yeah, but overall it was still a good still a watchable pay per view. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at Fastlane in March before the last stop to the road to WrestleMania. So we're going to be doing a results show on that one. Um, we're going to be doing a prediction show for WrestleMania. I was going to do a prediction show. I was supposed to do a prediction show for the Elimination Chamber. I was like, it was I was like I was so busy, and I was completely tired after that. So I didn't want to do that, and I was supposed to do the results show the other night. However, I felt I was working. I worked late, and I felt and then I fell asleep when I got home. So that's why I'm doing this results show now. So I do apologize for the late entry and everything. So but nonetheless, again, this pay per view was really really good, and set on the two chamber matches are definitely the ones that deserve the most watched so far. It was very very good, and I love it. I absolutely love those matches. Again, once again, congratulations to Bailey and Sasha Banks for winning the tag titles in there. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing more matches, and especially especially with WrestleMania coming up um, in April. I'm looking forward to seeing where you're going to go with the where it's going to take you and everything. So I'm expecting a WrestleMania moment. I'm sure. So again, congratulations to the both of you, and yeah, Daniel Bryan as well too. But I gotta again take my hat off to Kofi Kingston, who really put it out there and everything, and you know the fans were so into it too and everything, and that's what that's what really matters. I mean, come on, you know let's make history. Let's break the color barrier, put the belt on Kofi, and make history. Let's make something happen, because I think he is well deserved of a title and everything. But I want to see that him. We now know that he can main event, and he has proven it time and time again. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next chapter in Kofi Kingston's career. So I'm really looking forward to that. So, but again, stellar performance for Kofi Kingston for putting up one hell of a fight. And you know, you may not have won the match, but you are a winner to a lot of fans, out there, including myself, because I'm a Kofi Kingston fan. I mean, since day one, you've been I've seen since day one, you've been really phenomenal and everything like that, and I'm really glad that I really hope that they give you that WWE says, all right, well, let's give you a push, let's give you a WrestleMania moment, and I think you deserve one. So, I would like to see Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. I think that match needs to happen if it hasn't been booked yet. If Daniel Bryan hasn't been booked into a match, I want to see that happen. I think I would love to see that. I really would. I mean, it would make it would just be great right there. And I would love to see that. So, well, I'm tapping out, and I'm calling it a night, and that's pretty much all the time I have for today. Anyway, so I'll be back here on Saturday with another episode of Wrestling Prime. I promise. Because we got some stuff to talk about on there too. Because WWE Hall of Fame came up, and then I have my and then of course I have my own Hall of Fame to announce too, and everything. So it's just a bunch of Wrestling Prime Hall of Fame too and everything. So, but that's coming on Saturday. And everything. So, but yeah, we'll see you on Saturday. Follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. If you missed any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. Thumbs up give the video thumbs up on the video, and comment down below what was your favorite match from the Elimination Chamber. Love to hear what you have to say about what you thought of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Ringy dingy that bell to stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And more importantly, more than anything, you could be a champion too by laying the smackdown on that subscribe button. So, right there, lay the smackdown on that subscribe button. You could be a champion. You'll be a champion in my book. So we'll see you next time. Till then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace.